Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has resigned.
9 years as Canadian Prime Minister is coming to an end.
With more than 20 fellow members of his Liberal Party publicly urging him to go.
In his speech, Trudeau mentioned the party rebellion. He said if he's fighting internal battles, he cannot be the best candidate.
Justin Trudeau's career has nothing been sort of a cinema. A story filled with controversies, polarized opinions, and a charisma that once united a nation are fractured by crises. From accusations of corruptions to complex personal life, from strained international relations to an ever-worsening domestic crisis, Trudeau's legacy is one that sparks debate. Canada is grappling with a stark reality. 25% of the parents have admitted to cutting back on their food intake to ensure that the children have enough to eat. The economy paints a grim picture with per person GDP declining by 3.4% in the inflation-adjusted terms from mid-2022 to end of 2023. Amidst soaring inflation and a relentless housing crisis, Trudeau's approval ratings plummeted to an all-time low. Yet, despite these glaring failures, he managed to remain in power until he didn't.
I intend to resign as party leader, as Prime Minister.
What led to his downfall? How did a leader who once inspired Canadians with promises of progress and inclusivity fail so spectacularly? In this video, we'll explore Justin Trudeau's meteoric rise to power, his pivotal mistakes as a Prime Minister, and the final nail in the coffin, his decision to sever ties with India in pursuit of Khalistani vote bank politics, which was the immediate cause for his end as Prime Minister. Before we dive into the rise and fall of Justin Trudeau, it's essential to grasp the framework of Canada's democracy, a system deeply rooted in the Westminster parliamentary tradition with a few unique differences. Constitutionally, Canada's head of the state is a monarch, represented by the Governor General at the federal level and by 10 lieutenant governors, one for each province. The three territories each have a commissioner representing the Queen. While these roles are largely ceremonial, they hold symbolic significance, granting royal assent to bills, summoning or dissolving parliament, and presiding over state functions. Quite similar to what India has, except that we have moved on from monarchy. Canada's bicameral legislature mirrors the system like that in UK and India. The Senate upper house resembles India's Rajya Sabha, an unelected body tasked with providing regional representation. The House of Commons parallels India's Lok Sabha, where members of parliament are elected every 4 years from 343 constituencies. In Canada, the constituencies are called as ridings. Canada's multi-party system, like India, has two historically dominant players. The Liberal Party of Canada, centre-left, is led by Justin Trudeau until January 2025, garners support from progressive voters and educated immigrants. The Conservative Party of Canada, centre-right, was led by Pierre Poilievre, attracting the wealthy and business-minded voters. Then we have the New Democratic Party. This is a far-left party focusing on social equality, and it's led by Jagmeet Singh. The Bloc Québécois advocates for Quebec's autonomy. The Green Party talks about environmental policies. Like other parliamentary democracies, vote bank plays a pivotal role with regions, demographics, and policies shaping the election outcomes. With this framework in mind, we can better understand the strategies and decisions that propelled Justin Trudeau to power and ultimately that led to his downfall. Go back to 2013 when Justin was just a young man. October 2013. Trudeau, the son of former Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau, won the race to lead the Liberal Party, inheriting a party that had suffered its worst ever defeat in 2011, reduced to third place in the House of Commons. October 2015, under Trudeau's leadership, the Liberals staged a historic comeback, rising from the third place to secure a majority government with a message of hope and change. December 2017, Trudeau faced his first major ethical breach when Canada's Ethics Commissioner ruled he had violated conflict of interest rules by accepting a lavish vacation from Aga Khan. It marked the first time a sitting Prime Minister was found guilty of such misconduct. February 2019, the SNC-Lavalin affair, was a major political scandal in Canadian politics, casting a long shadow over Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's tenure. At its core, the scandal revolved around allegations of attempted political interference in the justice system by Trudeau and the Prime Minister's office, specifically in relation to an ongoing criminal case against Quebec-based construction giant SNC-Lavalin, now rebranded as Atkins Realis in 2023. September 2019. The blackface scandal further tainted Trudeau's image. The story broke with the publication by Time magazine of a photo from 2001 yearbook from the Vancouver private school West Point Grey Academy, where Trudeau taught. The school staged an Arabian Nights themed gala. Trudeau dressed as Aladdin in blackface and a turban. As a vocal advocate for diversity, photos of him in blackface surfaced, sparking outrage and forcing him to apologize. October 2019. Trudeau's Liberals were reduced to a minority in the federal elections of 2019, forcing him to seek alliances with opposition parties to stay in power. August 2020. Finance Minister Bill Molyneux resigned amidst disagreements over Pandemic Recovery Fund and his involvement in the WE charity scandal. September 2021. A snap election called by Trudeau to regain majority backfired, leaving him with another minority government like the last time. March 2022. Justin Trudeau struck a deal with Jagmeet Singh from New Democratic Party in a bid to stay in power until 2025. Trudeau's deal will require the Liberals to support the left-leaning NDP on various priority issues in the parliament. Jagmeet is a known Khalistani supporter. This is when Trudeau set his own trap. In June 2023, the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a designated Khalistani terrorist in Vancouver, set off a diplomatic storm. Justin Trudeau accused Indian agents of orchestrating the assassination, straining already fragile India-Canada relations. Critics argued this was a calculated move by Trudeau to appease his Khalistani vote bank while grappling with mounting domestic challenges. Canada's leniency towards Khalistani terrorism is not something new. In 1985, Canada failed to prevent the bombing of Air India Flight 182, which killed 329 people, despite prior warnings. Trudeau's government has continued this pattern, granting citizens of figures like Nijjar, flagged by Interpol for terrorist activities, further fueling India's frustration. Trudeau's accusations against India lacked concrete evidence, leaving many Canadians skeptical of his intentions. Analysts suggested his goal was not only to solidify support of the Khalistani Sikh voters but also to divert attention from internal issues, including dissent within his own Liberal Party caucus. This incident, critics claim, was yet another example of Trudeau's prioritizing political survival over meaningful governance. Adding to the controversy was Trudeau's contrasting approach to China's interference in Canadian politics. Reports reveal that China had used financial and political influence to support Trudeau's Liberal Party in elections, while pressuring rival conservatives. China even operated secret police stations on Canadian soil. Yet, Trudeau initially downplayed this issue, resisting calls for public inquiry and adopting a notably cautious tone towards Beijing. In stark contrast, Trudeau escalated the Nijjar issue with vague claims like credible reasons to believe, despite lack of evidence, further straining India's relations. Critics viewed this as a deliberate attempt to shift public focus away from the ongoing inquiry into China's actions, which has exposed serious vulnerabilities in his leadership. It was Jagmeet who forced Trudeau to deliberately put India's name. Jagmeet is a known Khalistani supporter. Trudeau had to drag India's name to woo the Khalistani vote bank based on the orders of Jagmeet. Now, ever since Jagmeet got to lead the NDP, most of the Khalistanis residing in Canada have been voting for NDP. As per polls in July 2023 showed that Liberals were losing ground to Conservatives, with public discontent over inflation, housing crisis and healthcare inefficiencies as already discussed. In June 2024, in a devastating blow, the Liberals lost a safe seat in Toronto to a special election. Liberal MP Caroline Bennett resigned, and in the by-elections, Conservative Party leader Don Stewart won, making him the first Conservative MP since 1993 to represent the riding. This was a major blow to Trudeau, facing increasing calls for his resignation. September 2024, the NDP led by Jagmeet Singh withdrew its automatic support to Trudeau. As a result, Trudeau's strained relations with India to get Khalistani support actually meant nothing. But Trudeau is not really a smart leader, as evident. December 2024. Soon Chrystia Freeland, Trudeau's loyal deputy and a key ally, resigned after clashing with him over spending and handing over impending US tariffs announced by the President-elect Donald Trump. December 2024. Jagmeet Singh, NDP leader and former alliance partner of Trudeau-led Liberals, announced that he will present a no-confidence motion in the government at the next parliamentary session starting January 27. This is the very same man for whom Trudeau sabotaged relations with India was now going to vote him out. January 2025. On January 5, Trudeau announced that he will step down after a new Liberal leader was chosen, marking the end of a near decade-long tenure. The Liberal government led by Justin Trudeau has left Canada with flawed economic policy, housing affordability, immigration mismanagement, and party unity. Post-pandemic recovery has been bumpy. Inflation soared to 8% before subsiding below 2%. Yet unemployment stubbornly sits at 6.4%. Trudeau's carbon tax policies have become a lightning rod for conservative criticism, amplifying frustrations over perceived economic mismanagement. Cities like Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal are ground zero for an escalating housing crisis. Skyrocketing prices have rendered home ownership and even renting a distant dream for many Canadians, intensifying calls for urgent action. While immigration has helped address labour shortages, the rapid influx of nearly 3 million newcomers in 3 years has stretched services like healthcare and housing to their limits. Trudeau's leadership has also been marred by ethical controversies, from SNC-Lavalin affair to resurfacing images of him in blackface. Public trust has taken repeated hits. These scandals have created a credibility gap the Liberals must address to regain voter confidence. The resignation of Chrystia Freeland, the Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister, underscores the depth of internal rifts. Freeland's departure, reportedly due to a failed demotion attempt by Trudeau, signals a leadership team in disarray. In a strategic move to facilitate the Liberal Party's leadership transition, Trudeau prorogued the parliament until March 24. The pause in legislative activities offers the party a crucial window to choose a new leader and regroup before facing a defining moment. When parliament resumes, the Liberal government will confront an immediate test, a confidence vote that could seal its fate. With the minority status and a determined opposition, the outcome seems clear. A federal election looms on the horizon. A federal election, constitutionally scheduled for October, could arrive as early as May if opposition parties push for it. The Liberals face a daunting challenge, with polls showing Pierre Poilievre's Conservative Party holding a commanding double-digit lead. The Liberal Party's future hinges on choosing the right successor to rebuild trust and re-energize its base. Possible contenders include Chrystia Freeland, Mark Carney, Melanie Joly, Dominic LeBlanc. Now let's address the most important question: how does it impact India? If the Liberals stay in power in the 2025 federal elections, the new leader might inherit Trudeau's policies. It will mean the continuance of tension between India and Canada. But if the Conservatives take over, the government might approach India differently, focusing more on economic partnerships and shared geopolitical concerns. But leader Pierre Poilievre's stance is still confusing, as he pulled out of a Diwali event last year. He was criticized by several Hindu groups in Canada. Many Canadian journalists, like Daniel Bodman, called Poilievre's move absolutely disgraceful. With Trudeau in power, Canada-India trade soared to $8.4 billion at the end of last fiscal year on March 31, 2024, marginally up on the previous year, according to India's Trade Ministry. Canadian Trade Minister Mary, in a statement, said, "I want to reassure our business community that our government remains fully committed to supporting the well-established commercial ties between Canada and India." Canada exports primarily minerals, pulses, potash, industrial chemicals, and gemstones to India. New Delhi sends pharmaceuticals, marine products, electrical and electronic equipment, pearls, and precious stones. Any change in leadership could influence the ongoing trade negotiations, including the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement (CEPA). Neither country has imposed tariffs or other economic forms of retaliation yet. Under Trudeau, Canada ended its popular Fast Track Study Program (SDS). The decision impacts scores of students, including those from India. According to the Indian High Commission, India is the largest source country of foreign students, with an estimated 4,27,000 Indian students studying in Canada. Trudeau's downfall highlights perils of prioritizing short-term political gains over strategic governance, as seen as in his appeasement over Khalistani vote ban as a cause of strained India-Canada relations. His tenure underscores the importance of addressing fundamental issues like inflation, housing, and immigration management, which eroded public trust and led to plummeting approval ratings, and hence his resignation.